Spear. Artie Mtungana standing by for us outside the National Assembly. Artie, good afternoon to you. More reaction coming in already.
Yes, Stephen, you might have heard all the opposition parties reacting to President Cyril Ramaphosa's SONA debate. Most of them, of course, not satisfied at all. Now let's bring in the African National Congress, the acting minister in the presidency. Minister, you are one of the few MPs that I can recall that fired shots, so to speak, back at the economic freedom fighters. But let's just begin with the president's response today and just your reaction. Of course, we know that throughout the 2-day period of the debate, most of the MPs in the ANC were backing President Cyril Ramaphosa's speech. And what would you then take from his response to the debate?
I think what we are taking is the instruction that it's about implementation, and we must focus on implementation. And that implementation is not just a by-the-way issue. It must be speeded up, we must be quick, and we must be receptive to the criticism. But in terms of the opposition parties' dissatisfaction, they must realize that when they came to the debate, they were not coming with proposals. They were coming in the main just to mudsling, and there's no way you can allow when the pigs are playing in the pigsty and you join them because everybody's playing. You must focus on the ball, and the ball is us implementing. And of course, there are people who are saying we are not doing enough around the vaccination, we are celebrating too early. We are not celebrating too early. We committed to this country that mid-February we will start the vaccination program. And indeed, we have started the vaccination program. And the skepticism that continues to take place, it goes to what the president explained, to say, can we stop looking at the glass being half full, half empty, and look at it at a half full? Can we start to celebrate the endowments of this country, what we have that works for us, and build on that? Because the responsibility of of building this nation it's all to us. And as ministers of the governing party, minister in the cabinet of President Ramaphosa, our responsibility is look at those targets that we've been given, the timelines that we must meet, and chase them, because we are here to serve South Africans.
For businesses, Minister, I'm interested because the FF Plus raised an issue around how the president seems to somehow be neglecting certain sectors within the business sector, like the FF Plus saying that the president is particularly isolating white business owners. What would you then say to that?
The problem of throwing allegations without giving substance to those allegations is not there. There is no South African business that is not included. In terms of large businesses, and that's where majority of white businesses play, unfortunately, they have been taking care of them by commercial banks, by everybody. So government, remember, has to intervene to address the market imbalances. And the market imbalances is that businesses that are suffering worst and that do not have access to the financial support that are there in the commercial banks on commercial funding institutions are black businesses, and government must focus on that. But also, as a nation, we have a responsibility to build an inclusive economy, because without an inclusive economy, we will not build an equal society, and without an equal society, we will never have peace and stability. And therefore, we must make sure that black businesses, women-owned businesses, youth-owned businesses, they come to the party and sit on the table, the main table of the economy of this country.
Now, I have to then go rep with this question then, Minister. The EFF leader raising concern about an alleged corrupt judiciary. The minister in the portfolio of Justice, Ronald Lamula, yesterday responding to defend the judiciary, saying that anyone who has issue or takes issue with judges, then they should substantiate that with facts and investigations. And you were one of those MPs that responded to those allegations that were made by Julius Malema. Won't you take us through that moment where you said, if there's anything he's hiding, why is he then attacking the judiciary? If I remember correctly, those were your words.
Actually, Honorable Malema is a member of the Judicial Service Commission, and he knows the process that if there's misconduct within the judiciary, in our courts, there is mitigation that he can go and report to the Judicial Service Commission a complaint, and it is not the first one. We know there are judges who have sat through the panels to investigate their conduct, and they have been disciplined, or the disciplinary process is underway. And therefore, to come and conveniently throw an allegation in the protection of the immunity of Parliament, it's very unfair. So you start to to ask yourself, why are you making these attacks? More especially when there are also allegations against the EFF and the leadership of the EFF in some malfeasance that has been happening in the country. You start to wonder, what is he afraid of? What is he protecting? Because he knows the channels to go and complain about the judiciary.
Ms. Ntshavheni, I'd also like to ask you then, today the Minister of Police, Begitele, went to go visit the former President, Jacob Zuma, which you also spoke about, that visit that Julius Malema also had at Nkandla. Won't you then give us your reaction to that?
The Minister of Police has a responsibility to make sure that there is compliance to the law and of this country, and there is law and order. And you know what is happening outside in Nkandla. There are displays that are not allowed by law to happen. Your military fatigue is worn. There are all other things that must happen, and there must be a conversation on how that should be toned down or how that must stop, because we cannot allow the law of the country to be disrespected, irrespective of who you are supporting, because we all are bound by the Constitution of the Republic, and the law must apply without fear or favor.
And then, so are you then saying that those discussions about visits to the former president's house, are you saying that those visits are being discussed within cabinet?
I'm not saying that is being discussed within cabinet. I'm saying the Minister of Police has to do his job as a Minister of Police, and that's what he's doing. It doesn't require a cabinet decision for me or discussion for me to do my job as an acting minister in performance monitoring and planning. It doesn't require a cabinet decision for me to do my job as a Minister of Small Business Development. Equally does not require a cabinet discussion for General Begitele to do his job as a Minister of Police.
So is the President aware of the visit by the Minister to the former President's home?
The President does not keep a log on what are the ministers doing in executing their duties. The President is busy running the country. What we do within our own mandates.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. More reaction coming out simply after that debate by the both members of the NCOP and the National Assembly, MPs giving their reaction. And certainly thank you so much, Minister, for your time, and the ANC as well, the acting minister and the Presidency, talking about that visit to Nkandla by the Minister of Police, Begitele, saying that he's just simply doing his job by making sure that all the activities that are actually happening outside Nkandla are well within the confines of the law. Well, much of the reaction that we received on the steps of the National Assembly today from opposition parties is, well, criticism really that we've actually been hearing from them throughout, the debate of the State of the Nation address. Many of them saying that President Cyril Ramaphosa just simply continued with addressing the nation as opposed to responding to those critical issues that were raised by all opposition parties inside the National Assembly chamber over the past 2 days.
Tim Ghana, thank you very much indeed. I think we might